Okay, legs are crossed. We are ready to step into this discussion, hunty. Welcome or welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the reality of soft life. If you're on any of the social media platforms, then I'm sure that you have seen the rise in popularity of the soft life era. And I'm absolutely here for it. But the goal of this discussion today is to hopefully shed some light on a different perspective of the soft life era where you are like able to really see a deeper healing and growth that can take place. This is for my girlies who are like, I am doing the extensive shower routines. I am feeling like I'm trying to live this life of luxury, but still feeling like that's not enough. I'm not trying to diminish. I'm not trying to shun anybody doing those things, but those things don't equal happiness. Those things don't equal healing. And so that's what I'm going to be just kind of breaking down and talking about today, while still also providing some tips. Let's talk about it. So first, I want to start off the foundation with all of us being on the same level here, being on the same page. So I'm going to read you guys the definition that I found from Twitter. Soft life, a life of ease, peace, comfort, and intentional happiness. It does not require struggle, love, stress, and distress. It consists of mutual relationships, clarity, and self-care. Now, y'all might be thinking, Rashawnda, that's a bomb definition. That's a definition you should be aligned with. And I am. I am absolutely aligned with that definition, but I feel as though the trend has taken over, and so people are really focusing more on the aesthetic of the soft life era and not necessarily on the mindset and the growth and the healing that has really started this movement. So I want to kind of first start off by talking about the things that I love, okay, about the soft life era, and then I'm gonna talk about how I wish the narrative would kind of be shifted and more portrayed in social media. So right off the bat, I absolutely love that women are prioritizing themselves. Oh my gosh, this is such a beautiful thing and something to absolutely be celebrated. It's no longer, oh, giving people the side eye, why you prioritizing yourself? Because I feel like my mom's generation and before, they weren't told to prioritize themselves. They were told to just sacrifice, get through it, push through. You know what? That dubbed the phrase strong Black woman. When you look up the definition of strong, it's, matter of fact, let me look it up for you guys. Strong, having the power to move heavy weight or perform other physically demanding tasks, able to withstand great force or pressure. And that's absolutely what was going on. All this pressure was put on women to perform, to look good, to get it done, to be the home taker, to also work, like so many things, while still trying to be a woman, while still trying to be feminine. So guess what? The femininity got sacrificed, and this strong person, which was also linked with aggressive, irritated, masculine, was then put together. And so soft life era is like, we definitely shedding that. I love that women to say, you know what? I choose me. I want to look good. I want to look pretty, not to impress somebody else, but to simply impress myself. And there's nothing wrong with that. I also love that this struggle love. People aren't staying in relationships just to say, I have a man. This mentality that you could be beat, abused, abandoned, and you still got to be holding down the fort and just waiting for them to return. No, ma'am. No, sir. No way, no how. You're not meeting my expectations. That's okay. Let's go our separate ways. We don't need to do this for the sake of saying that we together. So leaving toxic relationships. I've like had plenty of conversations with my mom about the relationships that I seen, and she was just like, but that's what people did. They just stayed. Her mama stayed. She stayed in relationships that no longer served her, even if she was getting broken down, even though she wasn't able to live up to her best potential. She just stayed because that's what women did back then. So what I love is that that's definitely back then, is not now. Now we're stepping into this element, into this era of like, it's okay for me to have higher expectations. Bye. I love that we're also looking at relationships, but adding mutual in front of it. Like we're saying, you know what, my support network need to be as popping as I am, okay? I don't need to be around these negative Nancys. I don't need to be around people who are pulling me down for the sake of having friends. So people are also looking at people in their life a little bit different and giving them the side eye if you talking, negative, if you're not uplifting me, if you're not empowering me, if you're not speaking life into me, I got to let you go. And that's okay. So those are all the things that I absolutely love about the soft life era, which have come about. I think it's a beautiful thing and I stand in support. I'm always like, sis, I am rooting for you. Now let's move on to what is actually dominating the narrative of soft life. So I went searching, really took some research in and put some time in to watch a lot of videos. And this is what the image or the narrative that was coming out. So it was aromatherapy, solo dates, luxury baths, perfume, getting your nails done, luxury shopping, finding a rich husband, traveling, slow morning. So after naming that, you're probably thinking like, well, what's wrong with that? That's all the good things. But honestly, those are just the cherry on top. That's just the surface level. All that is just like a jacket to cover up all the pain, the trauma, the sadness, the depression, the anxiety. It's not going to really touch into those things. It's not going to tap in and do any of that healing because no inner work is actually being done. It's going to make you feel better, right? And it's that confidence that may be temporary, but that confidence that comes in from knowing your worth and truly being able to access just a level of awareness of who you are as a person and really accept and love yourself. It's not going to really do all of that. Now I'm going to step into what I wish it was. It really came from a good place. I want you to first know that soft life is definitely a mindset, something that you can take wherever, whenever. So if you're trying to equate soft life and you're like, okay, well, I can't go on the luxury shopping sprees and so I can't participate. That's not true. It's a mindset. It's understanding your worth. It's understanding that a life of ease is for you. Let's dive a little bit deeper into it though. So the first thing is that soft life looks different for everybody, right? Soft life may not include perfume, although I love perfume. It does not come into my state of mind when I think about soft life, right? So understanding that the portrayal and image that you see from others, that may not match you, and that's okay. A teenager or somebody in their 20s is going to look completely different than a mom in her 30s. Why? Because different time frame, different set of responsibilities, and thus her soft life will look different than yours. So be mindful when you're going on social media and you're watching it and you're like, oh, I want to be a part of this, or even putting yourself down because you can't do the same things as them. So you're automatically just writing off this life of ease for yourself because you're comparing yourself where it doesn't need to compare. And this is not to be harsh, but it's to say you have to look at yourself, look at your life, look at your values, look at what you actually find important. When you're less stressed, what are you actually doing? What are your hobbies? What are your interests? You have to look within yourself and not look to others to validate that. So soft life has to first start off by your own meaning. What does a life of ease? What does less stress look like for you in your life? And then plan accordingly. I want your definition and I want what you attribute to a life of ease, less stress, healthy love, mutual relationships. But I want it to also be realistic so you're not setting yourself up for failure or constantly being a cycle of shame and guilt and sadness. Number 2 is that the aesthetic, the fuzzy socks, the aromatherapy, the luxury baths is just an image, right? So it is not the end and be all. This is not something that's going to bring about long-term change. I feel like when I hear people, I'm like, okay, those things are great. They feel good. They're beautiful. They're aesthetically pleasing, but aesthetics and healing don't go together. It's not going to all of a sudden make you be ready to set these boundaries and to step into your power and to feel affirmed and not need to be validated by other people. That's not going to equate. And I think that when people are watching this, they're like, okay, yeah, like I'm going to be stepping into my femininity and that's just going to give me all the good feels. It will in that moment. But if we're thinking about long term for your mental and emotional well-being, if we're looking for you decreasing the anxiety and being able to manage your depression, yeah, those things aren't going to do it. It's like a Band-Aid on a wound. We have to take care of the wound. So it's important to say, okay, you know what? Why do I seek these fuzzy socks? Take the time to journal. Ask yourself the questions like, how do I feel when I'm doing the aromatherapy? Why do you wish you had more of it? Was there a time in the past where you would deny these things? And so now you really want to step into it because it makes you feel as though you have left the past and you're stepping into the present in a beautiful future. When you understand that why, you unlock that deeper healing and understand that, hey, like, yes, I'm doing the things, but I'm also creating the mindset shift and the awareness that brings about growth and healing. And the last one is the life of ease. I am all for a life of ease. Trust me, I do not want to be on that struggle bus. Been there, done that. But I also want there to be this mindset that a life of ease does not mean avoidance. I feel as though people are saying, oh, I'm not dealing with that. I want there to be understanding that growth and change can happen in struggle. Have you ever come across somebody who really has not really dealt with any struggles in their life and small things happen and it just takes them out? Yeah, because growth, resilience, deeper understanding, experience, okay, those things happen because you're going through some type of struggle in your life. So yes, we are going to choose the path that is less resistant. I'm talking about like not dealing with toxic relationships. That is a path of struggle that you do not need to take. I, for one, Rashawnda, support that wholeheartedly. But if you need to have uncomfortable dialogue and conversations, instead of avoiding it, yes, it's going to bring some conflict and struggle, but you learn your triggers. You become more aware of what you don't and what you will tolerate. That relationship can actually go deeper because you guys are having a discussion, you're learning more about each other, and it could bring about more emotional intelligence and more emotional maturity. So that's just an example of, yes, we don't want to just be running into the flames, but if the flames are there are times where we need to stand, we need to deal with it, understand it so that we can grow, so that we can elevate mentally and emotionally. I know that doesn't necessarily coincide with a life of ease, but crying is a form of healing. But if you don't allow yourself to feel the pain, to understand it, you're not releasing it, right? It still is occupying and living rent free in your mind. And then you could turn into where you're actually afraid of conflict. You're afraid of certain conversations. You're afraid of certain situations because you're just not dealing with it. And so therefore, then you don't know how to deal with it. So again, we're choosing the path that is most comfortable, but we're also not running away from a fight because we don't want to be uncomfortable. Big difference. Big difference. I hope you found my just thoughts and me just talking with you guys helpful. I just had to talk about it. I felt like I was seeing it too much and I just felt like it would be a disservice if I didn't say, hey, let's go a little bit deeper. So if you found this video helpful, then definitely give me the thumbs up, subscribe, share this with somebody who can be beneficial. I truly am thankful for each and every one of you guys. And as always, happy healing. Bye.